Hey, what's up, y'all? Marjack79 here. We are back again today with another movie review. Today, we are here to talk about Disney Pixar's newest film, Soul. Just dropped on Disney Plus this previous Friday after Christmas. So we just watched it a second ago. So I really wanted to get out some thoughts about the film because it seems to have a way deeper meaning that is probably going to blow over a lot of people's heads. So the movie takes place in New York City and stars a man named Joe Gardner, who is currently trying to find his place in life. He feels like he is lost. He is an aspiring musician, currently a music teacher. And, the basis of the film centers around him finally securing a gig that he's been waiting for his whole life. But right before he is able to perform this gig that could potentially change his life, he falls into a wormhole and suspectedly dies. And his soul descends into a purgatory style state of existence where the basis of the film is him getting back to his body so that he can perform the gig. In the purgatory style state, he meets a lost soul named 22. 22 is a character that has existed in the purgatory style state for thousands of years because she has not been able to find her purpose so that she can be sent to Earth. So she's had numerous style teachers and mentors that have failed to, guide her into finding what, she is meant to do. So I think that's what the main basis of the story is trying to portray, more so than him just trying to get back to his body to, win the day and get the gig and so on and so forth. The movie really wants you to understand that, it's okay to have goals, but in trying to reach those goals, don't forget how beautiful life can be throughout the journey of you trying to reach your goals. I know I stated at the beginning of the video that this was going to be a review style take on the movie. It's going to be that, but it's more so just a discussion about the meaning as well. So, the underlying tone, Joe, obviously, he gets his body back, and without, of course, there's some shenanigans thrown in. 22 and Joe gets sent back to Earth. He ends up in the body of a cat. Then they go through some rambunctious adventures while in the body of the cat, and then 22 ends up in Joe's body. Hilarious material. It really was. I was very thoroughly entertained throughout the majority of the movie. It's had some pacing issues, some parts were a wee bit slow, but I feel like the parts that I enjoyed the most was Joe understanding that, it's cool to, aspire to that major goal of life, but don't forget the people that you love and, what you've done in your life to amass the success that you do have. You might not never reach that major goal, but so that's not a reason to, be depressed or just down on life. There is more to life than one singular goal. I've had to learn that. I feel like everybody around me has had to learn that. When I was a kid, I wanted to be an NFL player. So, we all know that that's a one shot in a million. After I grew up, my life took a crazy turn. I found love early, and it went from loving sports to finding a serious love of geek culture and travel, and I've been able to amass success on this YouTube platform, just doing what I love by talking to you guys right here right now as we speak. I feel like that's a dream come true within itself. Now, of course, YouTube is not my main source of income, but I have another career and another part-time job and so on and so forth. But I'm very, very prideful in saying that I do acquire an income by doing something that I absolutely love. And I think, that's what the core of the movie is trying to get you to understand. Of course, we all want that fabulous pathway of life that that would help us to get to that six-figure position and doing something that we love. But hey man, it's not always about making so much money that you can't even think straight. You still have to just stop and smell the roses, or just enjoy the fresh air, catch that breeze. It's a moment in the movie where when 22 is in Joe's body, he just sits down and he catches one of those little leaves in his hand. That may have been my favorite part of the entire movie, because they were so focused on their goals and trying to achieve, the major pinnacle of the story that the movie sort of wants you to believe. I believe that is the part that Disney made for kids, but I think the underlying message that Disney wanted to portray to all the parents that were watching this film with their kids, I think that's the true ending of the movie. Joe realizing that, the gig is definitely not the main purpose of his life. It's the everyday journey that's the purpose of life. I'm a husband and a father. My role as a husband and a father is not to push towards a singular goal, because what's the point of pushing towards that goal if I can't enjoy the journey of being with my family and doing this career and doing my other careers to find happiness in it. I just don't think life is worth living per se if you are not finding happiness in everything that you do. Now, of course, we all have rough days and so on and so forth, but the core majority of the things that you do in your life, it should have some sort of happiness attached to it. Yeah, I think that's what the core movie is trying to pass off for its message. Does that make sense? I think it does. Hopefully it makes sense to you as well. So beyond that, so let's talk about a little bit of the controversy that the movie is tackling. So this movie stars an African American protagonist, and once again, the only other movie that stars an African American protagonist is Princess and the Frog with Tiana. And of course, the major gripe that I have always had with that movie is that 80% of the movie, Tiana is portrayed as a frog. So here, Joe Gardner, I would say 50% of the time he is a little tiny blue soul. I guess they did that to more aspire to children. I definitely understand the business decision behind that, but it would have been cool if the majority of the movie he actually looked like himself, which is a black man. It's not a major gripe that I personally have with the film, but of course some people are going to have an issue with it. Is it a deal breaker that breaks the film? No, this movie's message goes way beyond that, and I think myself as a part of the black community, I can let that little sin be absolved, because the movie does a fantastic job of portraying way more adult style problems and issues within society in general that we can all aspire to be to make our lives better on a day-to-day basis. So you'll notice that I've been talking for this long and I have not mentioned the best aspect of the entire movie, which is undoubtedly the music. My God, when it comes to Disney movies in general, some of the most important, films in my opinion, like The Lion King, Frozen, Beauty and the Beast, Toy Story. What was the most important aspect of those films in my opinion? Music. My God, the music. This is some of Disney's best in its full, century history. So should easily be in any moviegoers top 10 soundtrack for sure. It was beautiful, from the jazz to the piano to the saxophone to just all of the instruments coming together. It was a beautiful array of musical level genius performances by whoever did the soundtrack to this film. I'm very curious if Jamie Foxx did the piano pieces for his character, because we all know that Jamie Foxx does play the piano. He performed it wonderfully in the movie Ray. I would be shocked if he didn't do the same thing with this movie. Oh my God. If this movie gets nominated for any Academy Award, it will definitely be for the soundtrack and the original score. It was, I mean, if you're any type of a jazz lover, this movie is for you. This will undoubtedly become your favorite movie of all time. If you're any kind of a jazz lover, that's for doggone sure. Yeah. Did I enjoy this movie? Yes. Is it my favorite Disney movie of all time? No, of course not. I mean, it had its flaws and whatnot. It was a couple of times where I found 22 annoying, had some pacing issues. Like I said, it was slow at certain points. Definitely not a whole lot of action per se in this Pixar film. Pixar films usually have some level of action. The Incredibles, Toy Story, Up, so on and so forth. So is it one of Pixar's best films? No. It's not. I don't even think it makes my top 5 when it just comes to Pixar films. I mean, Toy Story, Cars, Up, Wall-E, The Incredibles are movies that come to mind immediately that I enjoyed better than Soul. But again, Soul just puts out a message that it just goes beyond the head so much that, like, you have to respect it. You have to appreciate the message that Pixar and Disney were trying to give out, especially in the year 2020. It's a work of craftsmanship that cannot be ignored, and you have to give respect where respect is earned, and Soul has definitely earned my respect for sure. So, do I recommend this movie? Yes, absolutely. I think would I pay full movie price for it if it was in theaters? That's debatable. I don't think I would pay, $45 to take my family to go see this movie. This was really a good whiskey sip, really stretches the brain muscles. It makes you consider your own personal pathway in life. It makes you really think if you're making the right decisions on living day by day, doing everything that you need to be doing to pursue happiness. And that's what makes this movie special. I mean, are we going to see any Disney World or Disneyland attractions from it? No, I highly doubt it. But I feel like it should definitely be in the back catalog of knowledge of every, movie fan goer. So you can just pull back on this movie and remember that, no matter what you're going through in life, you can overcome it by finding the little tidbits of earth in life that gives you happiness. It could be your family. It could be just going on a walk. It could be just going for a run. It could be filming a video, just like me just talking to y'all about this film. It could be anything, just as long as it portrays a sense of positivity that could inspire someone else. And that's where I will end this discussion. And as always, thanks everybody for watching. Hope you liked the video. If you did, do me a favor, hit that like button. You can follow me at youtube.com/marjx79. I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. It's a little bit different for me. I usually just talk about toys and do travel, but this movie really inspired me to do something a little bit different. I hope y'all enjoyed it. So until next time, I will see you guys later. Bye.